Okay, we got Peter here with the ZipUp System. So they got quite a bit of things that they're going to be showing us. So Peter, I'm going to let you just go ahead and just let us explain what we have here and what we're working with.
So ZipUp is a water management system that goes on the bottom side of the joist. It has three components. It has a trim that is mounted on three sides, and then it has a main rail, which your panels snap into, and then it has a panel itself that catches the moisture and drains it out away from the house.
So here would be an example of what it looks like. This is an example of what it looks like on top, and this is what it looks like.
And this would be the three components. We have the trim piece, which would go on three sides, and then we have the main rail itself that the panel snaps into, and then we have the panel itself, which goes into the trim piece. And that's what gives us the ability to keep the moisture flowing away from the house and giving you a finished look while you have a water management system up underneath. We come in three colors currently. We have a white, as you see here, we have a tan, and we have a gray. In the works, we have a Carolina blue, we have a matte black, and we're coming out with a wood grain finish. So when you buy this system versus other systems, you're also getting a finished appearance on the bottom side.
Okay.
So I think that's the big difference between this and other systems.
And if a homeowner already has a deck built out, they can install this. It's not necessarily a new build like some of the other systems.
The other systems have to go on a new build. This system can go on an existing deck.
Okay, so it's basically if you have a deck and you want to below for it to be dry or not get any snow melt, rain, this would be what you would want to get installed. Okay,
Yes.
What would you say, how complicated would it be for a homeowner to install, or would it be better for a contractor to install for the homeowner?
I would say that if you have a homeowner that is pretty handy with carpentry, this would be a good project for them to attempt. It's very simple. So the surface of this represents the bottom of the joist. So up against the house, you would come out 3 feet. We need a 1/4 inch per foot drop. So you come out 3 feet and you would put your first pitch rail. Just for simple, we could call it 1/2 inch. I like to use a deck board, which is 7/8 inch. This is a mineral-based composite. So if you were to put this down, we'd be 1 thickness. 3 feet down, we'd be double thickness. 3 feet from that, we'd be triple. And if we were going out to 16 feet, we'd be up to 5 thicknesses out.
And now it gives you that so you don't have to do the calculations.
Yep.
Okay.
It's just simple.
Okay.
You don't need any prescribed 1/2 inch or 7/8. Whatever you want to do. The more pitch, obviously, the better. You could get by with using a 1/2 inch. That gives you the minimum, using a 1/2 inch thickness each time. And because it mounts on the bottom side and you're going to have a finished appearance, now you get the opportunity to come back in and you could shim in case any of your joists had twisted or crowned. You could come back in and shim it a little bit to run a laser level or just a plain steel level to get everything trimmed up nicely.
That happens more than people would expect for joist moving.
Well, it's wood.
Yeah. Here we have lights. So tell me more about the lights or installing lights underneath the system.
Okay, the lights come in a light kit that we have, and you would just figure out where you wanted the lights to be. And so in between a system here, they don't need to be exactly in the middle. That would give you a nice placement. You would just cut the hole, slide our low voltage light in, which then snaps on the top and holds it. And then we have an igloo that gets glued onto the top with the opening on the downhill side, so that water coming down, pitching down, would go around but won't creep back up in. So we've got a nice system there. And you could also do that with a ceiling fan. So if the homeowner puts in the water management system, and then his wife said, well, why didn't you put lights in it? You can simply go back, because the other advantage to the ZipUp system is each panel individually is removable.
So I've had a project, and it wasn't this system, but it was another similar system, and the homeowner did not do any maintenance. There's a lot of pine needles and everything inside that when we did take it apart, it was a lot to clean up. How often would you recommend cleaning up the system or washing it out once it is installed?
If it's pine needles and stuff, I'd probably do it twice a year.
Twice a year, basically change the seasons is kind of the rule of thumb?
Exactly.
Okay.
Yep, just like when you wash your windows, in the spring, and you wash your windows in the fall, you could go ahead and pull these panels down and wash them out. Because you're going to have access, if you take out a panel, you might be able to wash 2 bays on each side.
Okay.
Without taking down every panel.
Okay, that's definitely a huge benefit.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I see you guys have some stone as well.
This is the magic stuff right here.
Okay, we love that.
So right now, most deck builders are not stonemasons.
Correct.
So I know that several people offer their customers now the ability to do outdoor kitchens and outdoor bars, and simply by doing it this way, you would build a frame the dimensions that the homeowner wants. You could build it out of steel or out of pressure-treated lumber. You could use pressure-treated plywood or a cement board. And then just so you get a nice finished appearance, you would want to add some sort of a black, either a felt or a tar paper. But then you're going to start at the bottom, and because this mortarless system, it's lightweight concrete, you can feel the weight of
Wow. Probably a few pounds.
that. But it has an aluminum flange that is molded into it. So you start at the bottom and you shoot screws into it, and then you just offset it, stack it, shoot screws, and build up. So, and if you get to the point where at the top you need to cut the trim, you would cut the top off, not the bottom. You'd take a wet saw, or if you have like a chainsaw with the cement blade on it, you would just trim that, and then you would construction adhesive the very last piece in, because it's not load bearing. All the others, you need to go into a stud with one of the 3 screws. This is how it ships to you. This is 4 square feet of adorn in this box.
Okay.
There's 4 pieces of 6-inch tall by 2 foot in length, and you can simply do that.
So as far as, we have a white one here, and you know, a lot of people like to drink wine on their deck, and how is this for staining, or is there something to do to prevent staining if somebody does drop a glass or a bottle of wine, and that way now they have a red stain, or is that preventable? Like, how would you say that?
With red wine, you're probably going to get a stain. I'd try to rinse it off, obviously, as quick as possible. If that's unavoidable, you could maybe go back to someone, a paint store, and have a custom color made up for it, just to touch it on.
You could do a seal on here if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could do a stone sealer on it.
Okay. Okay. That's definitely good information.
This is another really unique thing for adorned stone versus some of the other companies that make stone systems. This is a corner system. And we got outside and inside corners with the same piece.
That saves so much time.
So what Sean Collingsgrew, our speaker this morning, when he uses this stone, he used this granite, the birch granite, on a recent project. They do the corners, and then they do their double cut on the inside. They bury it somewhere in the center, so you don't see any exposed edges on any of it. So it's really unique. And we make a variety of colors and a variety of patterns, and those are all shown here.
Okay.
We also have post-wrap kit, which you could select one of the colors. You would box out a 6x6 or an 8x8. You'd basically make a 14x14 box out. And then our stones, we have them all in a kit, and it builds it up to around 40 plus inches. And then you have a 2-piece cap that you could put on it.
This is the first time me seeing it, and as a deck builder, this is a very unique system, and this is going to be something I'm going to be offering, because I actually have a project where I will be building out a barbecue, and this will be something I'll present to the homeowner.
And you can tie these deck outdoor kitchens or post wraps into your house, because adorn is really a siding product. As you can see here, almost all houses have stone on it. And whether they do the wainscoting up, 4 feet, and then put a ledge stone up above, you can tie in the colors to your house, because it can be used in both applications.
Okay, this is definitely very good information. Well, now, thank you very much.
I appreciate it. Thanks.